The Meg is one of those films that I initially had zero interest in, and then all of a sudden I thought, actually, I am desperate to see this. I think primarily that was because I made it my mission to watch more sea-based films this year, specifically those that involve sharks, because I've seen Jaws, and basically that's it. So I thought this would be an interesting one, because it's actually a sci-fi film as well. It's about the Meg, which is a shark, which, if I pronounce this correctly, it's the Megalodon, I can't say it, but it's an extinct species of shark that lived millions of years ago, so it brings in the sci-fi element as well. And as with typical shark films, there are a group of people out in the ocean and they encounter this supposedly extinct shark that is obviously posing this massive threat to them. And then the rest of the story unfolds, and this video will not contain spoilers, so I can't really say any more than that in terms of the narrative, but I will say that the narrative does develop at quite a good pace. That's the first positive point I'd like to mention. I'd say the first maybe, I don't know, 15-20 minutes or so went really slowly, but then once the action kicks in, it develops quite nicely. My problem with this is that I felt exceptionally disconnected from the characters. Now, there's nothing wrong with the characters as such. They don't annoy me, they don't irritate me, I don't wish ill on any of them. But at the same time, I just don't care, which in some ways is actually worse than having a negative emotion towards them, because it means that whenever anything bad happens or a character is in danger, I don't care. And it's not like I hate them, I'm not siding with the shark, I just have no feelings for any of the characters in this film, which means that it's very hard for me to then become emotionally invested in the film, because I just don't care what the outcome is. So for me, unusually, I was more interested in the action. Normally, as a writer, I love narrative, I prefer the narrative, I don't usually mind if the CGI is a bit dodgy or anything like that, but this one, for me, it was all about the action. And for me personally, the shark wasn't in it enough. I have to be careful with the way I say that so as to not produce spoilers, but for me, I don't think it was in it enough. Now, maybe if I cared more about the characters, I wouldn't be so bothered. I know with Jaws, the shark is barely in it and it works really well, and that's because I actually, give a toss about what happens. Not the case with this film. So it's not a bad film. It has its positive points. As I said, the actual pacing is fine. I think it had a really good use of sound, both in terms of the soundtrack and also its moments of silence. I thought it worked very well. The dialogue was fine. Nothing that particularly jumped out for me. I just think, and of course the action when it happens is pretty intense. I feel like it was trying to make me cry. There's a little girl in the film, and whenever you put a child in a film like this, it's supposed to tug at the heartstrings. I didn't care at all. I don't care about any of the characters, and for me, that's a problem. That is a big problem with a film. So when I finished watching it, I thought, yeah, fine. It was alright. It was good enough. I'm glad I've seen it. If you like sharks, if you like monster-based films, and certainly if you like to blend sci-fi and horror, this is a fantastic way to do it. If you prefer characters and you watch films because you like to go on the journey with the characters, it may not be one for you. I will probably never ever watch it again. But I don't completely regret having seen it. It had its moments, and I would recommend it if you are kind of on the fence and not sure. But if you need strong characters, I would say no. But if you're kind of umming and ahhing and not 100% sure, yeah, go for it. It's not the worst film I've ever seen. The Meg is by no means my favourite film of the year, but it was pretty okay.